All right, and we're back. We're back. We're back. We're back. Welcome back. On to essentially Act 2, the second map. We're gonna, run through the swamp here. We've already gone through the town. Um, Lizard Man. I mean, we eventually want to get to here anyway. We can at least complete the event and go through the spider cave. Let's go this way. Choose to fight. All monsters gain 20 extra HP and 2 damage, and they all gain a 7 buffer every round, so we can't curse them, which is fine. We don't. I don't think. Is bleed considered a curse? I don't recall if bleed is considered a curse. Injuries. Glossary. Curse. Okay, so bleed is considered a curse. So it's any of the debuffs. All of the debuffs are considered curses. And all of the buffs are considered auras. So we would not be able to poison or bleed them, but we've still got a lot of damage. Plus 130 score, removing 2 cards. One of the defends. He could at least remove one of the defends. He could technically remove the adrenaline, even though it's, a high tier card. He gets so much energy. He can remove the aimed shot. She could remove one of the transmissions. And like a frostbolt. he wouldn't necessarily be removing anything. And like, I don't have the money for an exotic equipment shop. I might be able to buy 1 or 2 things. That's worth a shot. Let's see. If I can't buy anything, I can't buy anything. At least we get the extra score out of it. Is water considered... Yeah, wet is considered, Glossary, curses... If burn is, I'm guessing wet is. Yes, wet is considered a curse. Still 11 damage. And we will parry with him. Charges don't stack. But it... Remove a charge when it happens. So, okay. So it is kind of worthwhile. So it is still worthwhile to actually, like, go for it on applying. None of us have any poison. You're a little tiny bit damaged. Do it to get rid of the bleed and grant the 3 bless. So I really should have done it with the 2 of them, with the 2 cards that he had left. You may be stealthed, but I can still hit you. Let's give that to you. You're dead. Some nice defenses going on here. So you're not healing. But you're going to be applying a bunch of debuffs. Granting 4 regen. Gotta start getting you down. That's just lethal. Why did you live with 1 HP? Did I miss something there? And you're dead anyway. I have nothing in my hand that uses energy. You're up next. Let's get rid of all the defense and just go for max damage here. I mean, killed one. Stealth, huh? And because I can't target him directly, or she can apparently. You are up next. And she can't do anything. Can do that though, because it's on a random monster. And you can't do anything else. Good, you're out of stealth. Now I can actually beat you up. Good night. Let's take the shards. The shards again. And weirdly enough, even the shards some more. And in this case, we'll take... Trying to decide whether I want another flash or if I want the binding heal. I think we'll take the binding heal. And I, as I thought, don't have the money to actually buy anything. That would actually be pretty good for him. The stealth at the start of combat. Outside of that, there's really nothing there that I'd want anyway. You arrive at a small village of lizardmen that seem almost empty. A lizardman approaches you and says, "We don't want any trouble. Right now our tribe and our leader are fighting on the eastern battlefield." If you want, we could use a little help. If you go south, I have some items that may interest you, like this homemade slime bait that I'm selling you for 400, or this hammer and nails for 300, or you can have both for 600, of which I do not have. Let's go this route. Till he recognizes him. "You are the traveling healer who came some time ago. Thank you so much for healing my brothers. If you help us again, I'm sure my leader will give you a good reward. Before you go, take this hammer too. It might come in handy." Alright, so, I mean, clearly we kind of want to go this way, because we just got the hammer and nails for free, and we want to come this way anyway. And use the hammer to fix it. Be a free upgrade, but let's see. You arrive at a ravine full of cobwebs and cocoons. Some of the cocoons seem freshly made. As you get closer, the cocoons start to shake. There are people inside. When they hear you, the trapped people start screaming, begging you to release them. You hesitate, as some of them may be starting to mutate, and you can't be sure what their condition is. Let's release the peoples. First, you open the freshest cocoon and release a couple of humans. They both seem healthy. They thank you for what you have done, and one of them places a strange coin in your hand before leaving. You open more cocoons, but you find two more people who have already mutated and attack you instantly. You defend yourself the best you can. Well, you gained 104 experience already. And we're going to start right off with that. The little spider's already dead. Let's start working on the first mutated guy. Sweet. Very nice. And mine as well. That way the bleed's guaranteed to kill him, versus waiting for the poison. Or he could. Let's go that route. You have 5. $22, and then apply 10 more bleed. I mean, you're technically at lethal now to the bleed. Let's throw that out there. She's got 2. Remove that. Grant you that. No good. Poison. Lowest HP monster gets 18 health. Okay, now we can. And of course it applied it all to him. Let's see about having the bleed actually kill you and not waiting for the poison yet again. Okay. Or we'll just kill them all. I don't know, because I can. And you're dead. 4 upgraded. Require stanza 2, so that's everybody stealths. We'll take the smoke bomb. We already have a couple in the deck, so we'll just take the shards. Shuffle 3 scrolls of intellect. Yeah, we'll take that. Oh, that's a tough call. Having the Prayer of Healing in the deck. Remove 2 cards. Immune. Add 1 freeze to all monsters every 2 rounds. I don't know, that's going a little far. We'll just go normal on that one. That would be a lot of extra damage to try and get through. Immune to poison. You're almost immune to physical damage altogether. You are not immune to bleed, though. Alright, lightning and holy, fire, lightning, and holy. So, lightning. electric. Actually give it to you since it's right at the beginning of our turn here. That makes it lethal for you. And you are up next. That's a lot of poison. And I weirdly did not get a dispel. Okay. Okay, so you just get one shot. And of course, poison is not blocked. Shards. Shards. That is huge. Jump 3. I don't even think we need that. But it wouldn't necessarily be bad as a backup. You know, somebody gets really wrecked. You arrive at the entrance of a cave full of cobwebs. It's obvious that it is from this cave that all the spiders that you have been killing come from. This is undoubtedly the cave that the figure in the shadows of Sinethia's watermill spoke of. You enter the cave to search for the strong venom. As you enter, the ground below you begins to collapse. You have to try to avoid falling. We have a 37% chance. We actually did it. Okay. Narrow gap. As you go further into the cave, you come across the skeleton of an adventurer, and next to him you see a narrow gap in the wall. It seems that the adventurer tried to cross the gap, but it took too long and was swarmed by spiders. Upon inspecting the gap, you notice a current of air going through it, so it surely leads somewhere else inside the cave. With spiders lurking, you must decide what to do. Take some time and examine the adventurer's remains. Let's take our chances. We got a 64%. And we fail. I have no choice but to face the spiders and ignore the gap. That's... you have no immunities. You have resistances to everything except fire. You are dead. Let's protect the mage here. Get a little bit of extra armor going. You're in lethal. To bleed. So not even waiting for poison. So, not even an attack this turn. Yeah, you're still slow. That's a lot of poison. Or we just nail him with a... Actually, let's first apply the mark. That was big. You are attacking this turn. ×2. I mean, because we can. And I'm pretty sure you're dead. Oh, and your performance is based on like number of turns to kill, and it gives you bonuses when you kill things faster. One of those when ahead get more ahead events or type things. Split your block. Pick a melee attack from your discard, put it into your hand, cost reduced by 1. Now I think we'll take the shards. Let's give him that little extra defense. Let's take the shards. And let's take the sunbeam. And we've leveled up. Reduce the cost of the melee cards in your hand by 1 until they're discarded. Or defense cards. Now we'll take the melee attack. We've got... When you play a melee attack card that costs energy, refund 1 energy and gain 1 powerful. 3 times a turn. Reduce the cost of the ranged attack cards in your hand by 1 until they're discarded. So, like his, for melee or defense, his is ranged. And your deck... Ranged. 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 Small weapons, melee, 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 ranged, ranged. Not that those would really matter. So the small weapons wouldn't count as melee. It'd be the 2 slices, the 2 ruptures, or 3 ruptures, and the expose armor. But this would all be reduced to a 1 cost. Or be reduced by 1. I think we're going to take the momentum here. Because this is only, essentially, it saves 3 energy. Where this one is 3 times a turn, I can get it back, plus the powerful. Just plus 2 burn, plus 2 chill, and 2 spark. Anytime I apply them. I'd be gaining a lot of dispel. I think I go to elemental amplifier then with that one. Play a holy card, a holy spell card. A 1 time a turn. Grant a bless. So it's also going to increase their damage to the most damaged hero, which is just going to essentially be random most of the time because we've been sitting at near full HP. But every time he attacks, he essentially gets another free attack. Well, once per turn. Well, I can just use the healing spells even if they don't actually affect, so... A free card upgrade. Or increase the quality and quantity of card rewards at the end of combat. What would we upgrade? Maybe one of the Impales or the Enrage. The free Adrenaline upgrade. That's an expensive upgrade. Like an 800 shard upgrade. Maybe one of the transmissions. Possibly the Mana Gem upgrade. The Shock Nova. Yeah, she's got a lot of stuff that could be upgraded. The Ball Lightning. The Detoxifies. The Binding Heal. The Healing Rains. Yeah, and again, he's got quite a bit of stuff. So let's go for the challenge for a free card upgrade. They're not necessarily hexproof. Because, like, there goes a couple of charges. We all just... Bye! Lots of armor. Goodbye to all of that. She's got 3 energy left. Speed reduced to 0. Ouch. I'm trying to get rid of your evasion. Alright. You have 4 energy at the moment. Do something like that. Ow. Goodbye. Oh, I even get to do the free upgrade after. So for you, let's take that. We can upgrade that. Don't really need any of that. I'll take the shards on that one too. Another cleave. You really need some more energy gain at that rate. Just take the shards from him too, and then free upgrade. Let's see. It's 25% more damage. It still goes away, but that's fine. Brings the cost down, or 1 more damage and 1 more poison per hit. More expensive, but more bleed, more damage. Or just a couple more damage. Oh, the adrenaline. Yeah, we'll go that route. The mana gem upgrade make it innate and not go away, but only grant 1. Yeah, why not? Might as well do those upgrades at a town. Actually deal damage. Goes away, but also heals. And only grants the block it the next turn. It's another cheap upgrade. Those are cheap upgrades. Cheap upgrades. Oh, there's a big one. If anything, I'd say this upgrade. Yeah. Slimes on the bridge or the hatchery. You come to a large chamber full of spider eggs. Here you can also see some hatchlings and a herder who is taking care of the place. Some of the eggs look like they're about to hatch, so you can't waste any more time. Also, there's no way to advance without the herder and spiders noticing your presence there. It seems that your only option is to fight. Attack them fast before more spiders hatch. Use a torch to set the eggs on fire. Or I wonder how one of these eggs will taste. He'll probably end up starting by being poisoned, but hey, why not? Yep. He received an injury. Opens it in half and swallows the contents. At that moment, he makes a face of disgust and his stomach twists. It does not seem to have been a good idea. We get 16 experience for it. Now we'll have to pay to remove the injury. Fight it to him. He's already dead. He's gonna have 7 energy. We'll keep 0 cost defend. Wow. Okay then. Okay, you're dead to bleed. I mean... Go nuts? Because I can? I have a feeling you're dead. Wow. I think we'll go that route with you. You already have a couple. And your 3 decks are getting a little thick. A little thicker than I'd like. Not necessary. Spider Queen. Because of course, there's gonna be a boss at the end of that. What do we do here? Let's actually do it this way. Wolfguard you. Let's work on getting you out of here. And you're dead. Fire, fire, and holy. On yourself. Let's give it to you. Give us the regen. barrier you. So much pain. It hurts, doesn't it? 27, 31, 14, 9, and 4. Slashing, blunt, and piercing resistance. You. It's okay. I'm gonna stack so many debuffs on you. It's not even funny. Alright, we got 5 energy. The bleed. The bleed. And the repair armor. Sure. Remove those 3 poison. Deal a bunch of damage to you. Shackled everybody. Use the adrenaline. We'll apply the hunter's mark. And then instead of doing the aimed shot, I think we're going to expose armor. Oh! I could have done them both. Oops. You cleared them all. I don't like you. You died anyway. That's interesting. Take the shards. Just straight up double their poison. Triple or doesn't get cheaper. Slows them down, paralyzes them, but gives them shield so I can't kill them. That's interesting. Gives you an extra turn to figure out how to deal with them. I think I'm going to take the Tabula Rasa. And we're just going to take the shards with them. They all received the honorable. Draw a card, gain 6 and 6, and heal 7 on the draw. Okay. +1 water charges. +3 poison charges. And the 2 damage with both. Why is that locked? Oh, because I didn't have it. Do. I think we just take the $100. And the $100 as well. Climb through the cobwebs. Whew. Immune to bleed. They all gain 4 fury. They suffer bleed equal to it, but they're immune to bleed. Okay. So they just gain 3% extra damage every time I play an attack. I think I'm going to actually go this way. We're going to do that. You guys got a lot of poison on you. I mean, it's still 17 damage, quote unquote, to all of them. Use the mana gem. Transmission to you. Yep. Oh. I have to say that was pretty beautiful. I mean, that kind of means nothing, but still kills. I don't know which one that was. That was so quick, I don't know which one it was. She's technically already dead, but let's do it before she gets the chance for anything. Ow. That kind of hurt in the ear. Alright, let's... get a little bit of the healing in before battle end here. An upgraded impale that gets rid of itself. Yes. Yes, we will take the find weakness. For the 4 mark, if anything else. And shards on the 2 of you. Alright. The most unholy. Lightning-shaped horns. Tougher. Across a pond of water, when you approach, you see something moving underneath. Suddenly, 4 snake-shaped heads appear. It's a hydra. Each head looks a little different from the rest, and you take some time to name them according to their characteristics. Since it doesn't move, you can decide how to position yourselves and which head you want to fight first at the front. If you do not attack immediately, the hydra will have time to prepare. Well, we really don't need the heal. I think we go for getting rid of the lightning first. Oh. Oh, he's taunted. Six, which means I can get the parry off too. Just really start stacking these debuffs. Hey, you may be taunted, but you can't stop that one. You have the least amount of HP overall. Alright, 6 more mana, 7 mana. a head dead in round 1? What do we have? We have a lot of positives on us. Let's actually just get the buffer out there. Now you're taunting, so I need stuff that is all the way across. Well, you're actually still taunting, which means I can still bring you to lethal. Good night. See ya. He's invulnerable because he's stealthed. Of course, it had to hit him twice. You are up next. He doesn't have any extra energy. Extra poison. Three energy. I think we go the double cleave here. It's all of us. 4 left. Another charge battery, very nice. So now she can gain quite a bit of energy next turn. 16 regen kind of sucks to try and get through. Though he's still taunting, which means I can still hit him. Almost. Though if you don't get healed next turn, you will be dead. Okay, never mind, you're dead. Why did he keep taking damage like that? I don't know why he kept taking damage like that. Get everybody some defense. I would have really liked to get to her poison. .42 damage. That should actually jump back and forth. Yep. Okay, I kind of like this idea. I don't think we'll make it that far, but because she's just gonna kill him right here. Wow. Wow. And then it doesn't go away. Yeah, let's definitely go that way. Okay, that was a lot of stuff. One less healing done, 2 extra damage. Yes. He applies them together. So, does it essentially reapply? Immune to disarm. Yeah. As far as you are concerned, yes. Just take the gold. And we're gonna continue to the red portal. The group crossed their second obelisk. Upon arrival, they looked for signs that the princess or Lord Hansk had been there. This time they found 2 pairs of footprints leading away from the arrival area that appeared to be only a few days old. The group was finally on the right track to chase after them, even though they didn't really know where they were going. As the group looked towards the horizon, they saw another obelisk, and just at that moment, the obelisk glowed brightly in the same way that the other 2 obelisks glowed when they read its runes. They realized that at that moment, Lord Hanskin and the princess had just crossed the obelisk, and that if they were fast enough, they'd be able to catch him. Act 3, into the town. We're gonna go into the town upgrades. Epic cards unlocked to craft in the second town. Or removing cards is reduced 50%. Advanced divination unlocked from the start. Unlocked in the starting town. I think we're gonna go that way. Anything good in the armory? Every turn gain an evasion and a buffer. Ooh. That would definitely give him more energy. I think we give him Magic Forge altars and item shops. We're gonna hold off, but we are gonna get that for him. So we need to save how much? Basically $1,000. Where is it? I don't remember where I... Right there. Yes. I mean, I've got quite a bit now. Oh, hold on. Cards. Filter, lightning, and spark. Can craft another ball of lightning. Can craft another couple of charged batteries, which again is more energy. Gonna have to upgrade those. I think we'll upgrade them to those so that they actually do get out of the deck. Whoa. I mean, it's single target, but whoa. Holy, bless, regen, energize, vitality, buffer, heal, energy. There's none. Okay. You can only search for one thing at a time. That's a pretty big heal.
We made it just in time. Well done, Buster.
Thanks, Daddy.
Okay, let's go see Uncle Busby.
Daddy, I think you need to use the car wash.
All heroes. That's another big one. Do. Okay, filter by regen.
Boy Scout, everybody scatter.
Afternoon. How you doing? And thank you. Do. He does actually have one, but ew. As far as he goes, I'm pretty sure he's good to go as well. I can actually afford to do that. All right, have fun with your lurk. And make something delicious. Do I want to do that? Because he's constantly having energy issues. Yeah, especially with it coming with another card draw. Does it get cheaper? It does. And makes it so it doesn't remove. Is there any other zero cost stuff that I want in the decks? Holy damage equal to the hand. The hand's not usually that big. I mean, it's some damage, but... Heck, I almost want to remove the fire blast from hers. Just so that I can actually draw some of the other stuff. And especially with us going big on lightning. Transform blood into poison. Or bleed into poison. Yeah, we'll give you a vanish. That would definitely be some helpful. Hmm. 9 blunt, meh. Dispelled slow, grant a draw. Get out of here, into here. The detoxifies. I want 2 of you that way and 1 of you that way. Might as well make you guys actually do damage. Upgrade the barriers. Still 1 energy, still 10 damage, but draws a card, or free. We'll go 1 of each. Gets rid of it, but also draws a card. Makes it free. Makes it better. And makes it go away. So it shrinks the deck. Okay, make the heal smaller, but make it cheaper. Makes it more expensive, but deals quite a bit more damage. I think we're gonna actually go that way with them. For protection. Okay, I don't have enough for that anymore. That would have been nice. Oops. More expensive. This way everybody heals off of anybody they hit. also dispels fire. Just increases the stealth. Not worth. Cheaper, but less damage. More damage. He's got a lot of zero cost stuff. I think it actually makes sense to go that way. Can't do them both. That is card draw, so I don't want to get rid of those. Get rid of the other aimed shot. What else is... Okay, so that is... That is... Let's remove one of those. That adds water, which makes the lightning better. Let's remove one of those. I know she's also got the enchant weapons, so she can technically make all of her damage electric. I don't need 3 of these. Like, I just kind of want to shrink the decks a little bit here. He's actually had a pretty good mix. Okay, so Magnus, you are gonna get that. No ifs, ands, or buts about that. Well, let's re-roll the shop. Immune to mark. That would actually be good for you in here, but that's still better. Reroll again. Gain 26 block and 2 fortify on the first turn. What is the bass? Draw a card, grant 2 vitality, and heal 2. Two times a turn. Draw a card when you play a melee attack. You are going to take that. I mean, that would have been nice, but that is definitely worth a lot more. Let's just do a basic divination. I can always grab more shards this way. That's not bad. And the first time I use it, it's only a 1 cost. So it essentially pays for itself. It just takes a turn to do so. And gives me 5 extra max health. Do. A self-defense, that... Yeah, let's not... You can handle more cards here. Alright, well, before we go at the rest of Act 3 here, it's getting towards the end of stream, so before I start anything, and then it ends up being major extra innings and like an extra 2 hours on the stream, I think we are going to call it a day. So if you're still here on Twitch, please leave a follow, and if you're on the YouTubes, a subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notified when either I or new content goes live. Please follow me on both Twitter and Discord. Links are in the description below. I post any updates or changes to the streams/stream schedule, as well as reminder notifications that I'm about to go live within about an hour or so, on both. And I look forward to seeing you guys next time. Have a good one.